Today, we're venturing outside New York City to Bergen County, New Jersey, where we're creating a small edible garden. Eric, our talented videographer for the channel, and his family had long dreamed of growing their own food, but it's felt overwhelming. I'm here to guide them, turning overwhelm into a flourishing garden. Remember, all the products for this transformation are linked down below, and let's get growing. Welcome to Sky High Harvest. I'm Nastasha. If you're new to my channel, I specialize in small space gardening in New York City, utilizing balconies, terraces, and indoor spaces to create lush, productive gardens. It's September, and if you think it's too late to start gardening, think again. Zone 7B is perfect for a fall garden, and now is the ideal time to plant cool weather crops. We'll see just how much this little patch can produce. So let's hop on a call to discuss Eric's vision for a lush, productive garden that his family can enjoy. Hey, Eric, how are you?
What's up? I'm excited. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to create a little garden in your backyard.
Been living here for like 2 years, and we're 2 years late on starting a garden. So yeah, this is very exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it is a bit of a setup. There's a lot of setup to it, and there's so many options and there's so many potentials that it feels overwhelming in the beginning. So I totally feel you on that front. And like, what are you wanting to grow?
We love making pizza at home. It would be nice to have some herbs to grow. It would be nice to do like some tomatoes, some peppers. So it would be cool to have like mint or something that we can even include in teas. We have a little one. She's 5 and loves plants and she loves flowers. She's going to be excited to grow her own food. I think it'll provide that appreciation for food. I know once that we have a garden here, she's gonna be back there every day.
That education and that understanding where all this food is coming from, the challenges to grow them from seed, that's gonna be such a blessing to have that experience for her. I am delighted to start this edible garden for Eric and his family, especially since his 5-year-old daughter is excited about growing her own food. I'm going to be bringing some transplants that were a bit neglected in my garden to give them a second chance here. Since it's the perfect time for lettuce, I'm going to transplant some from my own garden and scatter seeds to ensure a steady supply over the next few months. This approach of transplanting and seeding will provide immediate greenery and future harvest, making full use of the remaining growing season. If things don't go as planned with the warm weather crops, at least the tomato, pepper, and basil transplants will enjoy more space here than in my crowded garden. I'm on a mission to inspire those with limited space to grow their own fresh and nutritious produce right at home. So utilizing this small plot, just 4 feet by 9 feet, I'm still getting the opportunity to intercrop over 20 different varieties. We'll be maximizing this space beautifully, and intercropping will help us naturally combat pests, control weeds, and make the most out of every square inch. So subscribe to this channel to see more garden transformations. We're starting by clearing weeds to create a fresh canvas. And to further enrich the soil, I'm adding worm castings and leftover potting soil. Today, we're joined by a very special guest. Meet Eric's 5-year-old daughter. From the start, she was eager to help in every part of the gardening process, especially for discovering and handling worms.
How does it feel?
It feels good.
And you're being gentle with it?
Yes.
All right, you want to put the worm back?
Yeah, so throw him back in there so he can do his thing. These natural tillers not only enrich the soil with their castings, they aid in decomposition of organic matter. And give this video a like if you think it's refreshing to see a child excited about growing her own food.
You get part of my tea? Sometimes I grow some apples with my mama.
Apples?
Apples.
Oh, you guys have an apple tree, don't you?
Smell that bag.
Which bag?
This bag, smell it.
It smells like cat food.
First up, rosemary. I bought this aromatic herb at Trader Joe's for just $2.50. Let's introduce the pepper plants from my garden. When transplanting, I always like to handle the plants at the base of their roots. And if you have multiple plants growing together, carefully separate them at the roots to ensure that each of them have ample space and don't compete for nutrients. But no worries, by planting them in Eric's garden, they'll have so much room to stretch out and flourish independently. On to the tomatoes. When planting tomato transplants, remember you can bury a good portion of the stem. This technique is great because the entire buried stem of a tomato will sprout roots, strengthening the plant. In this cozy 4x9 foot space, what crops would you plant as we transition into fall? Tell us in the comments below.
Go ask Grandma and Grandpa if they want pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really liking how this patch is coming together, but we really need to hurry because Eric's grandparents are in town from Florida and dinner time has already slipped by, and this garden transformation is taking way longer than I expected. I love this vibrant, sweet Genovese basil plant. Beyond enhancing flavor and growth of our tomatoes and peppers, homegrown basil cuts down on grocery costs and stays fresher longer. We're racing against the clock here, and not just because it's past dinner time, but these mosquitoes have been having a feast of their own.
Can you please scratch me?
I know, I'm like dying here too. They're eating us alive.
I'm getting chewed up back here.
Okay, to wrap up the transplanting, I'm adding some parsley, cilantro, a robust 3-year-old oregano plant, and a touch of fragrant thyme. These additions will bring an array of delightful flavors and reduce bugs because they don't like the smell of thyme or oregano. But the question is, does this work on mosquitoes? As we put the final touches on this garden makeover, I'm adding a hanging planter along the railing filled with fragrant mint. It's perfectly placed so Eric and his family can quickly snip a fresh leaf to enhance their meals or whip up a refreshing cocktail, which sounds great right about now. To be honest, I'm feeling a little bit disappointed with this hanging basket. It's not quite living up to my vision. I really wish I had brought more mint plants from my garden to fill this out and to make it more lush. But you know what? We're just gonna work with what we have and let's keep it moving. And to see a better example of using these hanging baskets, watch this YouTube video where we turned a balcony into a garden full of food. The sun is setting and our time is ticking away. We've got to add the seeds to the garden. I'm sprinkling parsley, cilantro, 3 varieties of lettuce, along with a row of spinach and a row of arugula. These are all cool weather crops, perfectly suited for this late summer fall garden. Even as late as September in places like New York and New Jersey, you can plant these seeds and enjoy a harvest that extends well into the fall. Just remember to check your local first frost date to make sure these seeds have ample time to get started. And it's important to water generously. Transplanting can be a bit jarring for our plants, so ample hydration helps them settle in smoothly and kickstarts seed germination. Remember to label your plants. It's easy to lose track of where you've planted what, especially seeds. You can even note the date for added context to see how your garden flourishes over time. Okay, so we're back at Eric's garden and everything looks so good. Look at this mint, so that's looking great. And then we have all of this here. The tomatoes are gonna spike up. Everything is looking really good. Everything I planted is still living, but I'm just so thrilled with what happened. Wow, I am pleasantly surprised by how abundant this fall garden has grown. It's really exceeded my expectations. Eric and his family have been enjoying their harvest, from the crisp lettuce to the flavorful basil and peppers. We didn't get any tomatoes, but they really embraced the garden since we transformed this patch. Eric shared that his daughter has been tending to her garden, checking on it daily, and sharing her gardening experience with friends and teachers at school. Let's dive into the cost of creating this fall garden. The total investment, just under $65. We spent roughly $20 on soil and worm castings, $40 on seeds to grow 20 different crop varieties, and $2.50 on a pre-grown rosemary plant from Trader Joe's. If you're starting from scratch and need basic gardening tools, budget around $80 for essentials like shears, a hand rake, a watering hose, and gloves. But remember, this assumes you have none of these tools already. For less than $150, you can create your own edible garden with a variety of crops using only a small patch of land. It's both a cost-effective and enriching experience for you and your family. Starting from seeds not only saves money, but also brings the joy of nurturing a plant from its earliest stages. So whether you're gardening on a budget or simply love the satisfaction of growing your own food, there's an affordable path to your garden dreams. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to follow updates to see how this garden transformation grows. And until next time, stay high with plants.